jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
What's good, everyone? Happy Sunday, man, and salute to the Labor Day weekend. Big shout out to the supporters of WCS. You already know what it is. Always appreciate it. It's Sunday, man, and you know what it is with Ortiz-Ruiz is confirmed. Why? Because it was a weigh-in yesterday. You know what I'm saying? That particular fight was confirmed, and we get to see them step into the ring tonight. That is a heavyweight affair. Both of those fighters have fought on the championship level. That being, Ruiz was able to win the championship against Anthony Joshua in their first go-round of the last-minute replacement. And also, Luis Ortiz has had several opportunities to step in the championships arena with the champ himself to try to win a belt, and he just couldn't get it done. So both of them know what it's like to be under the bright lights and everything and step up to the big stage. But only one has been able to accomplish it. Now they're at a point in their career where they're still trying to climb that ladder, but it's not at the highest point than it used to be, you know. So it should be a good fight. You know, Ruiz came in at 268. He looked good than what we previously, you know, kind of looked at him as being. But, you know, Luis Ortiz, he's a much older fighter, and he has taken some damage in there against his only two losses against the bronze bomber Deontay Wilder. So we don't know where he's at right now. He looked bad in the early round against Charles Martin, but he did come back and stop him. And Ruiz looked bad in there for a second against Chris Arreola. We still end up picking up the win. With that said, the reason why I introed that particular fight, because it's made. You feel me? That particular fight is made. But at this point in time, with only hours remaining, we're looking at what? We're looking at Crawford-Spence. Shout out to Pass on Deck. What's good? We're looking at the Crawford-Spence situation. You know, I'm about to light up the goddamn coals on that shit. You already know. Excited to see Jose Valenzuela tonight. Absolutely. I like Jose, man. I like him. You know what I'm saying? They up there thinking he's an easy touch against Isaac Cruz. Isaac Cruz is just just saying this man, hey, whatever, you know, because he ain't been able to fight a big name. But I like Valenzuela though, man. Alexander on deck. What's up? What's up with it? W says you're on mute. No, I was actually finishing up a phone call, but I appreciate it. Hey, Pass, thanks for letting me know that. Anytime I come in and you don't hear me right away, just drop that in the chat. Appreciate you. Because I might be on mute sometime, but today I wasn't. IB, what's good? What's good with you, OG? How you feeling, IB? WCS, what up, player? What up with it? Andrew Charles on deck. What's good with it, Drew? Alexander says, I blame the listeners because this is how they want to be entertained. So it is what they are given. Ooh, woo. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for dropping that comment. I mean, look, the live haven't even been on 5 minutes yet, man. And we got people up here just throwing darts already. God dang. People throwing darts already. I get it. I get it. Shout out to my guy, Shaw News, the Sauce Experience, aka Showtime Shaw, in the building, man. What's good with it, brother? So let's get down to it, man. You see my thumbnail. Liars. Who more shameful, the talkers or the listeners? And the reason why this is very important because we have a bunch of liars on YouTube. I'm just gonna tell you what it is. They try to come up with this YTBC. It doesn't exist, y'all. I just put the acronym up there because people love to use it here and there, and it sounds good. But let's be honest. Let's be honest about the disappointment. I know it's plenty of us is just exhausted at hearing the same fake news all the time, right? If you are past the critical period of learning as a child, you know right from wrong. Even your thought process without even opening your mouth, you know right from wrong, bro. All of y'all out there, you know right from wrong. So you choose, you make a conscious choice to go ahead with something that you know that ain't right. That's when, when we was growing up and we getting our ass whooped for lying, we know consciously what's right and wrong. Somebody asks you, are you black or are you brown or even white? And you pause for a second. Well, my last name white. You had a conscious choice to know what they was talking about. This YTBC, YTC is just on a whole nother level of shamefulness. Real talk. And the individuals that's putting out the fake information on these fighters are not even helping the boxing community. It's not even doing it any type of justice, bro. Now, check out what Alexander said about him saying he blamed the listeners. Let's touch on that with the listeners. They can be partially to blame. It depends on how long they choose to stay there and keep on returning to listen to the same shit that which they have been disappointed with over and over and over again. It's just like you're a glutton for punishment. You keep on showing up. Your ears are bleeding. You keep on showing up again. Please give me more. Please say it different. Please say Crawford-SPENCE is done. Oh, we got a couple more hours, please. Their ears are bleeding. They're yearning for any type of lie to attach to the lie that's already been burning their ears. They just wanted to come back. And I just feel like they're the biggest dummies of all. Real talk. They're the biggest dummies. Seriously. If you do this shit on YouTube, man, you do it in real life. I don't get on here and do this shit. I don't get up here and do something to fool the people or to pretty much lie to the people and then think I won't do it in real life. You're supposed to maintain some type of character. But social media, it pretty much separates that. It places up a border in between the artificial intelligence and real-time reality. That's what social media does. It doesn't mean things cannot transfer over to a physical form. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is we have the choice as adults to understand that Crawford-SPENCE news of them being announced tonight, it hasn't happened. And there are certain individuals out there, the listeners, as Alexander put it, they listen to this shit. They have sit up here and Googled the fuck out of this, and they have came up with absolutely zero source compatibility to be calm about it, to be at peace, to say, you know what, 2 or 3 other news outlets have said the exact same thing. 2 or 3 news outlets have said the exact same thing. So I'm pretty much feeling carefree right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling carefree. So that's why I am where I'm at. No, they can't do that. Because if you go and listen to the same person give you the same information all the freaking time, and you know there's inconsistencies, so much to the point that it's purposely done, then I will agree with Alexander in that particular notion that the listeners do hold partial liability for going back to those individuals, the talkers, listening to them tell them false, being in a dysfunctional relationship, and continue to return knowing that you can't go in here and substantiate that. You're at fault too. Crawford-Spence came nowhere close. All this media shit, all this back and forth, all this, speculation, all this putting titles out there in descriptions, it's really bad for the YTC community when it comes down to it. Seriously, it's just all the way bad, man. These individuals are straight up liars. And it's bad because let's go a bit deeper. Let's go a bit deeper just a minute. Hey, Q, that's you?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. Hold on for a second. So let's go a little bit deeper, right? Let's look at these individuals who put out false information, and they have family old enough to have their own account to go out there and listen to them put up false information. How are you supposed to tell? How are you supposed to raise those individuals that's there? I'm talking about every one of you that's out here putting out fake information. How are those who closer to you that know you are a streamer, how are you supposed to convince them that you're a good person in real life if you willing to go sell your soul out here at YTC just because you chose to make this your source of income, your source of living? How are you supposed to raise your kids up that old enough to have a freaking account and they listen to you tell some lies and they do their own research? And they say, God damn, this nigga ain't shit. And you wonder why they treating you like shit, right? Man, what's wrong with you? Why you got none? Well, I told you to be in the house, a little bit early. I got in, didn't I? I got in. I told you I'd be here at 6, but it's after 6. I know. I didn't say when at 6. I said I'll be here at 6. I didn't tell you a goddamn time. Oh, so now you lying, huh? Well, goddamn it, from what I see and hear you do on this damn social media shit, you lying like hell too. You taught me to be an honest, stand-up individual. You know what I'm saying? To have some integrity about myself. But I'm listening to you on your shit because you're talking so fucking loud. Because most of these dudes are relegated to a room. Most of them have their own little room, bro. And that's all they do is come up with information. They try to sit up here and talk to the same people over and over again and tell them bullshit ass lies. There's people out here that's disappointed that Crawford-Spence haven't been announced yet. But yet, this is the second date that they were supposed to be announced on the 4th. We haven't heard any type of information, period, about this. What's going on, Q? How you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling good, man. How you doing, fam?
I'm good, man.
This bitch cooking with hot grease, I see.
Yeah, man. It's the announcement was supposed to go down today, and still the fight hasn't happened yet. So for those out there who's waiting on it, I'm not waiting on it. I'm just talking on it because I know when it gets into the boxing card and all that, I want to be pretty much focused on that. But all I'm saying is, how are people supposed to take us serious out here? The ones who actually give a damn to speak as much truth as we possibly can. You know what I'm saying? Opinions are not based off fact. Well, I'm not talking about opinions. I'm just talking about putting out information that's not true, that don't add up. And then you got the listeners that continue to come back and they spread that false information. They're part of the problem too, because those individuals are there to be friends. They dare to be companions, sheep. They're not going to say too much on what they're hearing. They're going to say, you know what, the last time on the 4th of July, we didn't get shit. So you coming back again with this? How are we supposed to know you telling the truth this time? I swear to God, these cannot be grown ass adults that's listen to this information, because they come right back around and pass the same info, and we ain't heard nothing yet, bro.
Because they always say sources. You know what I mean? They lead you to believe they got some type of inside source. But the craziest thing that I always hear about their sources is it's somewhat of a Terrence Crawford camp source. And I always ask the question, y'all always discrediting and going hard on the TC camp. Why would I believe that you would have a source from that camp when you seem to be way more of a fan and way closer to Earl? Where are the Earl Spence sources? You know what I mean? That you could spread this bullshit, because it just seemed like two big negatives. That the fact that you would say you would be down talking this person, and the same person you down talking, you got sources in this camp. That would lead me to believe that you damn near twice the liar. To get me to believe half your source, you should tell me that your source is coming from the guy that you fanboying for. But they don't do that. So from these sources to these bullshit fight dates that, you know, they'll possibly have another one. As soon as this roll over, I guarantee you it's gonna be a top of the year day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A Christmas date or some shit like that, man. So you can't really trust these guys, and these people, the listeners, they got to do their due diligence as far as the research go. Because as much as bullshit YouTube boxing people, it's good ones out there that you can listen to that give you the correct information and not the bullshit, you know, the ones that's on your front page soon as you turn it on. Like, you know, these hardcores, people that claim that they hardcores and listeners and stuff, that they don't even be doing a lot of research. You know, I done heard a lot of them get on panels and goddamn just sound like a fucking casual, but I see you in the comments of these pages and shit, like you really know something. But I hear some of them talking, they ain't talking about shit.
Yeah, I hear you, bro, for real. Cause these listeners will get in here and sponge this info up, and then they'll try to go on somebody else's chat as if, like you said, they're hardcore boxing fans. They're pretty much hardcore listeners, but they don't know how to decipher what is considered truth and then dishonesty. They don't know how to decipher that. They hear it so much, and there's such a sheep to the person that's up there telling them. They just want to then be a part of something. They want that companionship. So, you know, they'll hear some shit and they know it's not too much of truth. They go out there and maybe type in a search engine, try to find out some information, can't get it. Then come back out to the same person and listen again. Just because they just want to be a part of something. You know damn well you have to function in life as an adult. It's people, a lot of these people, they have to take care of themselves and other people, whether it be their kids or their mama, their daddy, their husband, wife. They have to take care of these people. But what I found out, Q, is a lot of these dudes use women to make phone calls to these camps for them. They would use the women to try to get this information because they feel like it's just like pimping. They feel like the woman can go out there and source this information and talk a certain way and try to disguise themselves pretty much to kind of get the information. And then they might shoot the woman, a little cash here and there, just like prostitution. You know how it is. Do your job. Got now shoot you $5, shoot you a nickel, shoot you a dime here and there, and just get this information and then give it back to me so I can break it. Anybody at the camp that's handing out information, they're gonna ask where you from. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna ask where you're from. So let's just say the female is able to get the information. Then if the listeners and those people on YTC, you don't get them a source on where you got the information. Once again, it's another 4th. Okay. It's another holiday. It's on YTC. We don't get any type of news as of yet. It's false information once again. So these people have pretty much committed to say, you know what? I know so-and-so's a bullshitter, but I'm still going to be a part of it because I like the bullshit. I'm going to be here. I like how this feels. I like the temperature. Man, give me some more bullshit. I'm dumb as fuck. Just give me some more. I love listening to this. That's what we got. That's what we got on the YTC. They burned this damn shit all the way to the ground. They contaminated the fuck out of it. And this is just another example right before Labor Day that we haven't even heard anything that we haven't heard shit yet. And those of you that's out there, you know who you are. It don't matter if you get on here and try to say, well, the fight ain't going to be announced. No, I got to hold you accountable too, because you're the one that set up here and dropped the damn information, knowing damn well the announcement wasn't going to happen. But you got the people to tune in to your vids as if it was going to happen. And then on the day it's supposed to happen, oh, I don't think it's going to happen. That's full of shit, bro.
Facts. Yeah, and then it's like one of the craziest things that, like, in the listeners, the people that listening to them, bro, I can only believe that that's just what they like, because it's damn near like when people talk about the sport of boxing, that's something they always say they don't like. That they don't like promoters lying. They don't like these sanctioning bodies lying to them. They don't like all this and that. Come back and say one thing, and then next thing you know, they say something else. Back just like when Suleiman was doing it with the franchise belt and shit, just making rules and changing them and just doing that how we do it. Boxing already a renegade type sport where it ain't no rules. Yeah. And people say and do bullshit, and they'll go and let a YouTuber do the same shit, playing with the same information that these sanctioning bodies and promoters get you. Then you got another middleman playing with you with some more extra shit, and then you out here listening to it like this. Like come on, bro. Like you gotta kind of look at where this information and stuff come from, for the simple fact that they always could use a source to let it know, like, I ain't really the one that lied. My source just got it wrong. Or correct. Exactly, yeah, something like that. Or they might have changed it because of the information. I wasn't supposed to leak that information, so they had to change it and shit. Like, man, come on, man.
It's constant redirect, man. It's constant redirect. They want to redirect the culpability as if, like you said, their source. Okay, if you didn't have confidence in your source, you never should have released the information. What you did is release information because it entices the listeners to tune in. Once again, you're dangling them by a string again to tune in as if something's really gonna happen. And then on the day that it's supposed to happen, I don't hear anything from these channels, man. I don't hear anything on the channels encouraging their listeners to tune in tonight for the big announcement. No, you know what happens? They come up here with other lives and shit, talking about, oh, well, it seems like it's not gonna happen because of this. Well, it was no way to freaking source that. It was no way to substantiate it or validate the information to begin with. Right when you released it, no one else was talking about it. Idic, Coppinger, Raphael, none of them. Y'all need to understand, y'all listeners that's tuned in. Go try to do your own research so you won't look like clowns up here. Listen to a clown. Don't be a part of the circus if you don't have to. You have choices, man. You don't have to do this shit. Some people fucked up in life and they need YouTube. It's their dire straits. They don't want to be considered a total failure. So let's hope the YouTube keep going for the next 15 to 20 years and something special happen. But I don't see dudes across the board at a high rate getting rich off YouTube. So y'all listeners have to be very, very careful about going up here, listen to the same information, and then giving your money away when you know goddamn well you listen to another lie. You know what I'm saying? It's no way that I'll be able to sleep at night feeling good about myself, going in here lying to people, and then turn around and say, well, I lied to you again. But hey, don't worry about it. The swelling's gonna go down just a little bit. The swelling's gonna go down. It's not permanent. Okay, you used to this punishment. The swelling's gonna be okay. All right. You love black eyes. Continue to come over here, and you're gonna build up a tolerance for this bullshit I'm giving you. All right. Everybody cool with that? Cool. I'm just, a bit sick of that shit, dog. Real talk, man. Like,
Shit like battered wife syndrome.
Yeah, man, it's like a domestic violence, bro. It's like domestic violence on this shit because these people will sit up here and catch you on somebody else's channel, and then it will end up being a Crawford-Spence debate, and you can pretty much tell who they've been getting their information from. They're not going to fights, man. They ain't doing none of that shit. They're listening on the channels and repeating this and regurgitating the same info, bro. Yep. DBMH, what's good? D-Ray Promotion, salute to you. Big Blunts Unboxing on deck. Yeah, man. I'm not even disappointed about it. I'm just saying, like, we up here talking about what Crawford's doing. And let me get this out the way right quick. For those of you that was confused, that was hitting me on the inbox about this, because I did a live on this with Crawford Wrestling. I always tell people how I've seen him, wrestling with his people all the time at these fights, how he was running routes and shit like that, how he's a much more stronger athlete all around. So when the news came out about, another fake news of Trey Songz, Crawford was snatching Trey Songz up and all this shit. Let me show you a video that's out there and people was asking me in my DMs about. And I said, I did a live stream on this video. I want y'all to check this out real quick, like. All right. So hold up. Where's this shit at? Hold on. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Hold up. Here we go. And this is look, I cite my shit. This is Lalo's Boxing. I did a live stream on this before. So check this out. I want you to pay close attention. If you use somebody's thumbnail, even though, it's just a screenshot, you should give them credit. You should just post it in there. It's called etiquette, man. You should just post it in there as if that's actual Trey Songz, and then you have individuals that's unwilling to look at it and say, well, Trey Songz that light. This is the video that was posted as a screenshot. Y'all pay attention to this shit. This dude is a real wrestler. Look, check this out. Bud Crawford is in slides, jeans, no belt, and a tank top, and he has the drip. This guy's lacing up his shoes. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. This dude is lacing up his shoes. Bud Crawford is in slides. This is why I keep telling people Spencer's going to get his ass killed. He's going to get canceled. Just check out the video. Now watch how Bud pins his head for the turn. He pins his head in between the oblique and the upper thigh of his opponent's right thigh. You know what I'm saying? And that is the turn of man for the pin. Look how quick he does it, man. So I just wanted to show y'all that because BBS Cheyenne, he was over there using a screenshot of this, right? And bro, you need to cite. You need to use etiquette and cite Laylos Boxing if you're going to use their content. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I already told y'all that pretty much. That as a courtesy, you should be able to show who you getting this information from, even if it's a screenshot. Come on, man. Listen, y'all. When it comes down to Crawford and Spence, I know a lot of people want to see the fight, but y'all have to be very cautious about individuals who say something's going to happen over and over again. And it's not bothering me because, like I said before, when I get up in the morning, YouTube is not my first daily nutrition that I go to get a fix for my bank account. No, that's not it. It's not it. I'm just being honest. It's not. It'll never be that. But I'm saying Bud Crawford in that particular video, he pinned a guy who actually wrestled, had tennis shoes on. And when Bud was actually pinning this guy, he was not in his slides anymore. He was in socks. He was in socks. And look, a lot of y'all can say what you want about, they don't have nothing to do with boxing. It does, man. Yes, it does. It has a lot to do with boxing. It has a lot to do with it. It has a lot. When it comes down, did you see how many feints Bud didn't go to? Look, that guy feinted Bud as he was going in for a single like 3 times, didn't he? And Bud didn't even bite on him. And then when he did change levels and make entry, it was shut down immediately. Immediately. Just imagine what would happen to Spence in that scenario. Imagine what would happen to Spence in that scenario. It would be too easy, man. It would be too easy for them to go head up and wrestle one another. It would be too easy. There's levels. So when it comes to the clinch game and boxing inside, it's going to be too easier of a job. So that's why they betting on, YouTube going out here passing false information, because they know, like I said before, they failed that man in 12 days. They failed him in his entire career that they start supporting him. Period. It can't happen. You know what I'm saying? I know people want to get on here and say, well, it's boxing. Anybody's got a punch a chance. Well, before the Udenis Ugas fight, Errol Spencer's pretty much telling us the truth. It ain't been man down in a minute. Bruce Gas Boxing Jazz, what's good? What's good with you, OG? How you feeling? LOL, ya. These dudes on YouTube boxing channels been clowns. They not the fights, desperate housewives. Big Bunsen Boxing say, LOL, I just wanted to see what they say after Ruiz Ortiz fight and no announcement. Yes, sir. I'm serious, man. Man, this shit, man, it shouldn't be able to be disseminated as it is, but YouTube is making money and every other social media segue is making money. We don't got to eat off YouTube, talk about it, WCS. Absolutely. We don't have to do that, bro. We have choices. You know what I'm saying? We have choices. EJ would go how many rounds in the cage, bro? Not with Terrence Crawford. Not with Terrence Crawford. It ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Lost Arts of Boxing in the building. What's good? What's good? You know, I'm just putting out the information. I'm not in no way, shape, or form hating. People don't understand, right? I tell them every time, man, my retort to this type of information being passed once again, it's almost like I hold myself accountable for how I treat people in general. So if I'm getting on here and other people that know me know I'm getting on here, the ones that don't like me, it's not because they have a personal measure on why they dislike me. It's because they was fragile and they was on YouTube and they chose to pick sides. They want to be a sheep, so they feel like, oh, all of a sudden I can't talk my shit. But it's okay for you to be in a group of sheep and they continue to spread lies all the time, and you think that shit is cool for boxing. That's not the way I operate. You know what I'm saying? I don't sit up here and be personal. I can disagree with somebody, see him in person, and then give them the head nod, say, what's up? How you doing? Whatever. We're not kicking it. You know what I'm saying? We're not kicking it. But what's the difference here? What's the difference? Are you going to be truthful about some shit? Or for the next 5 or 10 years, you're just going to continue to, you know, get in front of the camera and lie about shit all the time and become a damn old ass liar? You know what I'm saying? An old ass liar. Y'all niggas out here old and lying. Look. My girl would be disappointed in me. I wouldn't even want to look. I wouldn't even want to be dating a female, right? That'll sit up here and listen to me. She's supporting what I'm doing, listen to me, and accept the fact that I'm a lie. I don't want to hear the shit. Oh, get the bag. That don't pertain to me. You know what I'm saying? This fight is polluted. I'm talking about the name of it. It's polluted, especially in the waterways of the YTC, man. I was about to say something else. I just changed my mind. But the waterways of the YTC, this shit is polluted, man. Real talk. This shit is absolutely polluted. And they keep on talking about how we need to support black fighters, how we need to do this, how we need to do that. Well, guess what? They pretty much exhausted the Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford situation. Now they transferred to 2 other black fighters, Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney. Now we have vitriol, you know, the slingshot effect going back and forth on Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney. It never stops, bro. If Crawford-Spence is the biggest fight, then why you don't take the biggest breath, inhale, and say, today I'm going to tell the truth, okay? Damn it. God damn it. It's hard. Shit. Okay, I'm going to tell the truth. It's approaching the holiday, and I have no new information on this fight at all. But nope, yet instead, you inhale a little bit, you know, hey, I'm going to tell you, it's about a week out, man. And you probably heard from other channels too, man. I'm not the only one. They try to separate themselves for liability. But yeah, it's supposed to be a big, huge announcement coming this weekend. Huge. Absolutely. You feel me? And you have to say to yourself, not this again. And then look, people be hitting you up. Real talk. People will hit you up. They let you know they respect what you talk about. They hit you up and say, hey, have you heard anything about this? Have you heard? So me, I'm saying, damn, it is some smart people out there that'll try to find another source that make him find out the information if it's true or false. You feel me? So they'll hit me up and ask, hey, have you seen so-and-so and so? They give me like 4 or 5. Hey, 4 or 5 channels out here passing this information that it's going to be a fight. The fight's supposed to be officially announced again on the 4th. And then I try to be polite. I get them a response. And then they say, okay, keep me posted. And then some of them are trolls. You know what I'm saying? They'll try to come in here like they're in good faith. And then all of a sudden, they'll try to talk about, Crawford need to do this, Crawford need to do that. If it wasn't for Crawford in this conversation, y'all would be extremely bored. Seriously. Because every time we turn on, we hear the same questions and answers. But I'm talking about the fans who disappointed and don't have a channel. I'm talking about the listeners. Y'all said that this fight was going to happen. It was going to be announced. And then you slowly but surely finagled, the betrayal. You want to talk in between. You want to try to fluff the motherfucking verbiage. That you try to say, well, I never confirmed anything. I just told you it'll be, possibly announced in Ruiz Ortiz. And then I'm talking to my partner, right? You know what I'm saying? Me and Showtime was talking. It's like, well, why would Espinosa want to announce a fight if it's a Fox telecast? Why would he do that to himself? This is the person who's already had unkind words to say about this fight. Why would he separate himself and demote his position as one of the head honchos in this network game? Why would he want to say, okay, announce the news on a fight this on a Sunday? It's the holiday. It's a lot of people fucked up right now on a holiday and on a fight that's not even a championship fight, y'all. It's not even anything grandiose about this shit. It's just Andy Ruiz and Luis Ortiz. Why would this fight be announced? Why would Crawford-Spence be announced? You have to ask yourself questions. Always do a bulletized checks and balances. Ask yourself, first of all, what is the preface of this fight being announced on Sunday, this weekend, the 4th, holiday weekend, Fox telecast? Why? You have to ask yourself questions, man. You have to ask yourself, after you hear it, you have to ask yourself questions. Else you're going to continue to get taken advantage of, period. For real, there's Showtime, man. Old ass disgruntled looking dude. Lil Flex, what's good, man? People talking shit for show, man. This stuff goes on and on and on. People is going to get to a point. They're already there. They'll say, you know what, I'm not even really concerned about what you have to say. Like you'll tell them, hey, you got a channel, you this, that, and the other. They say, oh, I don't listen to that. And I'll say, why? Because of so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. They be talking, they be spreading so much bullshit. They got all these big channels and they be spreading such false information. I say that's not everybody though. That's not everybody. You can't blame everybody for that. You have to be understanding that it's some individuals that have to live by this. It's some individuals out here that's stuck in the room. I call them the men in the room. You know what I'm saying? The men in the room. That's their whole entire career of being in the room and coming up with topics. Whether those topics are truth or false, they don't care. Long as you be there. Look, I remember when I was firing shots back, boy, they was over there. They was over there thinking they was proving something to me. Then you weren't proving that to me. You can go give that person all the support you want. You're the dummy and the clown, dog. I don't care. If you have a collective group of channels on your one hand, let's just say your right hand, you know what I'm saying? You have a collective group of channels that you tune into, and those channels push the same narrative, and you are to continue to get dressed up for the occasion, and you show up looking stupid, and you hear information that you know that's not true. You come over here and you don't hear me talking about it, or you may hear me say something like, if you're hearing this, that is not exactly true, because I have contacts too. I will call them up. Any information I hear about PBC, I can call them up. We're not talking about running the mill. And I can look, people could sit up here and tell you quick. Well, be honest. I can call up Sam Watson right now and call him up. You know, I can call up Sam Watson right now. That's what type of contacts I got. I just look at, I feel want to say, okay, do it. Call him. Hey, that'll be good. Look, that'll be good, productive content for the listeners. Call up Sam because he is the man over there. You know, call up Sam. You know, while you live, and hit him up and have him talk. Say, hey, Sam, I want to ask you right now, Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. I'm live right now. If you say you can call him up at any time, I'm live right now. Can you give us an update? Is it going down? Is the announcement going to happen this weekend? Is there any way? If you cool like that, then you should be able to do it. If not, then I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you because a lot of cats are set up here to tell you they'll name drop Sam in a heartbeat. Sam. They'll name drop him. But do you have more than one source that works at PBC? Do you have more than one source is my question. Because we can compare sources, man. Y'all up here faking the funk like you can call up PBC and get that information. I have a minimum of 5. I have a minimum of 5 sources at PBC. 5 separate sources at PBC in my phone, contacts. You can run and try to find out who they are all you want. That's good. They're not going to tell you. A minimum of 5. And you probably run to yourself, damn, 5, who can it be? Who can it be? 5 sources that actually work. That actually work inside with PBC. So when you're sitting up here and you're telling the people about all the sources you got, all you channels that push the same bullshit ass narratives, then call them up while you're on live. I did. I had one of my sources up here. That's when Cheyenne fucked around and had the nerve to call my source a lie, all because he misquote. You know, he said Deontay 200 million, and it was 120 million. I called one of my sources up. I called the OG up and had him on here. But unfortunately, Ben Israel dumbass was on my live, which was my fault, and he wouldn't allow the information to be distributed to my listeners. So that was my fault. But I gave you one of my sources to try to explain why this fight wasn't happening. That was his take on it. So don't say I didn't do it. I absolutely called up one of my sources and said, "Hey, talk to him right quick." But I had a dummy on motherfucking live on my panel, and he wouldn't shut the fuck up. So that was my fault. What's good? What's going on, Q?
What's good with it, family? I have to switch out to my laptop. But man, you was on this bitch cooking when I left. I'm like, damn, how I leave that boy start cooking. but like that, what you saying is true. And something else like that people kind of overlook too is like they kind of like the sentiments that Tom Brown and or Espinoza, whatever they coming up as far as them saying the money ain't there and this person is not worth that and this and that. We got to remember where that all started, where that come from, because that was like one of the first things against Terrence Crawford that they start spewing on the YTCB after they knew that they would never get an interview from Terrence Crawford. And you had certain individuals talking down about Terrence Crawford, saying that he don't sell, he don't do this, he don't do that. And from the way they talking, you could tell they had them and all the people they listen to pretty much boycott and, you know, do this with Terrence Crawford, you know. So now, like when you see like the executives, you know, people who supposed to be trying to help put on the fights, bruh, and that's something that they using, saying that, oh, he don't do this and he don't sell and shit like that, bro. That's a narrative. That's a lot of narratives that's stuck. Cause like when I look at it, especially like taking all that shit away. If you just never seen boxing and say you don't know Earl Spence or you don't know Terrence Crawford, but they just showing these pictures and all this stuff about Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence, bro, all the stars, all the celebrities and shit, Terrence Crawford be with them. Only celebrity I ever seen Earl Spence with was fucking
Yellow Beezy.
Like I done seen Terrence Crawford.
It's on me, baby.
Yeah, like, and they from the same city, bro. Like,
yeah,
I done seen Terrence Crawford with 50 Cent and Rick Ross, and you know what I mean, like Floyd, and you got Mike Tyson visiting Terrence Crawford on Mike Tyson's birthday. It ain't like Terrence Crawford went in and visit Mike Tyson for his birthday. For Mike Tyson's birthday, he went to go visit Terrence Crawford. He went to his city. And like, so if I look at it like that, bro, I think Terrence Crawford is way more popular, star-studded when we talking about celebrity status. Just from the outside looking in, a casual that never seen it, you don't know neither one of them. But like, you know, so that's weird when you say he don't sell. But hell, if you look at celebrities he sold, I just seen this nigga drop goddamn 30. You know what I mean? And he playing with ex-NBA all-stars and shit. You know, so you know, narratives, bro. They so crazy with them. And if only thing you live on is YouTube and those certain few circle of people, then you don't really know too much. I can't say you know too much about boxing, or I would say.
Oh, just say it. Don't just say it, Q.
Like,
you don't know shit about boxing, dog. Go ahead.
Shit about boxing, bro.
Channel your Roger Mayweather, bro. Go ahead.
Man, you don't know shit about boxing, bro. Just be honest. If you only in that small little circle that spew negativity against certain fighters, and really they only cover about shit. You can count on they can count on their hand what fighters they cover. They don't even cover the entire sport. You know, so it's like it's just weird with them, bro. It's weird with a lot of people in the hate that they put in the momentum they got. Like that, it got a lot of momentum over the last couple of years. They got a lot of people, like you were saying earlier, bro. You hear people talk, and only thing they do is regurgitate what them motherfuckers say. They don't know shit. I'm a barber, and I live in San Antonio, so bro, I can tell you, like, I done have people sit in my chair, you know what I mean, and they wearing Earl Spence draws, and we talking about boxing in the sport, and bro, I hear them say, man, but Terrence Crawford don't sell though. Like, nigga, what the fuck that got to do with him losing in a fight, dog? What that got to do with this dude getting the brakes beat off of him? It don't got nothing to do with. And that's like one of the first things they say to combat that it ain't no way in the world Spence can beat Crawford. Well, he don't sell. Like, what the fuck that got to do with the fight?
Yeah, I agree, man. What the fuck you got to do with the fight, man? They got to go in there, split the ropes, answer the bell, man, and start exchanging. That's it. It don't have nothing to do with ticket sales, because we already know it takes how many fighters? Two, goddamn it.
Two.
So therefore, if you complain about what Terrence Crawford, do you want him to fight Spence or not? Period. Do you want him to fight Spence or not? Or y'all gonna continue to talk about who sells the most and who doesn't, and sign the contract and all that other bullshit? Why are y'all going around here singing the same chorus, man, and all y'all off key? You keep on saying, well, just sign the contract, knowing damn well you won't go through in life signing shit that don't make sense to you, bro. You're not gonna sign off to something and put yourself in a predicament where you have to say, damn, man, I shouldn't have did that shit. Now I'm locked in the contract, you know? No, but Crawford, a person that's on the pound for pound list ahead of Errol Spence, you want him to absolutely make a fool of himself and sign a contract to make a minimal purse. Also, he can step in there and fight Errol Spence for one night. He's supposed to just, well, I don't have nobody to take care of. No, he has kids. You know what I'm saying? He has relatives he take care of. And plus, you know, he's been pretty good with making his guarantee money. His
Shit.
guarantee money's been pretty up the scale, man. That's pretty good for a fighter that wasn't even like on pay-per-view like that.
Yeah, and it sound like he helped goddamn EJ get his bread up in the fight, because they was talking about EJ signed to the lesser money portion, and Bud the one that had to send that shit back to negotiations and up that bread. Because if Bud asks him for more money on the guarantee end and they know they're gonna give it to him, of course they're gonna have to go back and give Earl more money. They not gonna be like Earl gonna stick to the same guarantee. They gonna bump up both of them for the simple fact that EJ gonna have his little pennies in a bunch. Like, damn, I know I signed to that guarantee, but you end up giving him more because he won't negotiate. So.
And that's where we at, Q. This what you just said. That's where we at. See, they don't understand. Y'all don't understand what was just said. Errol Spence is getting low guarantee money, man. Low guarantee money. He's up here saying Crawford, a person that's used to getting a high monetary purse and his guarantee money, had to send it back and say, hey, man, you know, that 1.2 you're trying to give Errol and talking about he'll get everything on the back end, man. Y'all need to get that up, man. That's not even fair. Y'all need to get that shit up. Because you know, Bud is used to getting his high guarantee. And one of the complaints that's coming out of PBC allegedly is the fighters who have these deferred payments that's supposed to get paid on the back end allegedly have not been compensated yet. So they get a low guarantee, but yet they have to wait till everything else come in, all the numbers that they'll never know. They have to wait till those numbers come in to see how much their percentages, how much their purse earnings are going to be on the back end. That's fucked up.
Yeah, I thought the Ali Act changed that shit.
The Ali Act, in a sense, prevents, a person like Al Heyman from being the manager and a promoter. Okay. Ali Act is pretty much, from my understanding, fighter don't fight for free.
And it also let them know like how much money was made from the fight.
Correct. But this is boxing. It's a lot of things that's supposed to be made. Like you hear fighters all the time, especially on the regional level. And well, on the highest level too. We saw a perfect example of that with Curtis Harper. Curtis Harper stepped in there with F.A. Jogba and they rung the bell. He turned around and got out. Why? Because they was jacking him around on the money that they said they was going to give him. And then it didn't happen. He was getting a lower purse.
And some people still think he got out the ring because he was scared of F.A. Jogba. I know people that still think that's why he got out the ring, because they were scared of like, nah, bro, that dude wanted his money. Like that.
He's going in there against a heavy hitter like F.A. If you stand there, of course. Okay. If you stand there, he's gonna flash you out. But why go in there for the small dollars, man? And you about to take punishment. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't fair. Once again, we seen the situation that went down with Ty Edmonds and Truck Simpson. The word was put out that Devin was gonna pay his purse. He was only getting $100. I clarified that wasn't the case. The co-promoter who was supposed to be in charge of the money didn't come up with the money. The money wasn't in the house. So they wanted them to sign a second contract to say, this is what you're going to get paid for your fight, which was $100. That wasn't disclosed. Furthermore, if Devin Haney is going to pay this fighter more than $100, and he had a contract with the promoter of the venue and who's promoting the fight, if Ty Edmonds would have took that money from Devin Haney on camera, then therefore his contractual agreement, whether it be verbally or whatever, now he's bonded by Devin Haney. If he takes that money and go in there and fight Truck Simpson, and they don't sign a freaking contract, and they don't stipulate, well, this is going on in DHP Promotions, and also this fighter has health insurance. He would have went in there and got injured if they just exchanged money just for him to go into a fight, and he don't have no insurance agreement that Haney's gonna take care of his injuries and all that. He's shit out of luck, bro. He's SOL. And that's what people weren't getting from the YouTube shit. It wasn't like, oh man, I guess he didn't want the bread. See, this is what I'm talking about. People need to do they due diligence to be better people out here reporting this shit. Because you're talking about the dude didn't take the money. But if he would have took the money, he would have released himself out of the contract with the promoter who had insurance on him. But the only reason they didn't want to go in there because they was getting a measly $100, man.
Yeah, but he still probably could have been binded to that contract by taking that money. The promoter probably could have sued him or some shit.
Correct. It was sloppy business. That's why you have to salute Edmund's mother and father for saying, let's see a contract.
Facts.
Because you just can't say, oh, is Devin Haney up here? You know, that obviously Devin's have $100, but obviously Truck Simpson is the fighter that he's there to support. So he knows how it works. Him and Bill has been in that situation numerous of times where they've dealt with contractual business. He would have took that $100 and went in there and got injured. He would have been shit out of luck. That would have been the worst decision, bro. And y'all need to understand how the business work too.
And that shows how beautiful the sport is. Chew you up and spit you right back out.
Yeah, spit you out, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, damn, you act like you give a damn, but people get on here and act like they don't. Like, if you what is it? You care for the sport or you don't? Because if you care for the sport, you don't give a shit about the fighters. Who make the sport? The fighters have to participate. If you don't give a fuck about the fighters, then what is the sport about? It's boxing. Fighters have to lace up and go in there and contend. So I don't get it, man. I don't get why people just take this shit for granted when it comes down to, hey, Crawford should just sign the contract. Just sign the contract. How just sign the contract for what? What numbers are we talking about?
And they trying to put it out there. And the reason why I think a lot of this shit going is if the fight don't happen in whatever way, it seemed like they trying to put it out there where is Terrence Crawford would be the reason the fight happened, you know, regardless. By trying to say he the one need to sign the contract. Earl already did his. He just this, he just that. Yeah, bro. Earl sitting back and he gonna be what he always is. Some guy that got the benefits, somebody that got the benefits of timing. Like the time Earl was able to do his thing at 140, it was all timing. And he damn near like made it some of his timing because after he got that belt from Sean Porter, people was on his time. People was on his time after the car accident. People was on his time after he got the eye injury. And I mean, and now, and throughout all them times, we were still waiting for that Terrence Crawford fight. So now that all that shit over, and he say he ready and this and that, it's still on his time. Now you trying to fast put Crawford in this speedy ass negotiation so you could try to fuck him over on this bread and take control of his career because you want more than one fight, or he don't even get the Crawford, he don't even get the Spence fight. It ain't even the fact that the Spence fight ain't a done deal. It's the fact that the options on the other end, they want to make sure that shit, because it's a high chance, and PBC know this, and Showtime, whatever, that boy gonna lose, bro.
Damn, you just empty the whole clip on him, man. Damn, that's some true shit you just said, man. On his time, that's some real, that's true words right there. That's true words that they don't even think about. You know, if and put it this way, the caveat to what Q, man, articulated perfectly. When it comes down to Errol Spence, you know, he the one has been on record as saying that he made it more difficult for himself when it came down to Sean Porter and dropping weight. So if he was fucking off the game before Sean Porter, which was arguably one of the best fights of his career, right? And then he comes up here 12 days later, October 10th, 3 o'clock in the morning, and he has an accident. Like Q said, on his time again. Now we have to wait for him to come back. Where was y'all Where was the Spencerholics at when he was in recovery all that time? Y'all was quiet as hell. Half of y'all was goddamn all over here in other people's chat talking about Crawford. Y'all was on his team then. Yeah, I'm gonna rock with Crawford, man. Crawford, yeah, he's a. Then you found out Errol Spence coming back. I'm gonna go back over there to Errol Spence, man. He's supposed to be. Oh shit, he got an eye injury. Damn, I'm gonna go back over here to Crawford. It's always his time, man. They found out somehow a video leaked out of him getting touched up in sparring. Y'all weren't saying too much about that.
Man, they act like that shit didn't even happen. And
they
then,
act like that was non-existent.
And then his eye injury. And we was like, oh shit, because you remember that Showtime put that footage up and then took that shit down like the same day. Because motherfuckers was like, man, that didn't really look, that ain't really look too good. And it probably wasn't even a week later we heard about that eye injury. And then, you know, the people that really do their due diligence and research was like, man, that nigga was getting touched up.
Mm-hmm.
And it was by that dude that was mimicking Pacquiao. He was like, damn, and they're having trouble with that southpaw.
Yeah, it was.
Like, bro.
I'm just curious to this day, did his eye truly get fucked up to the point where, you know, his orbital was, you know, injured or scratched cornea or whatever the case may be? He was still out. You know, the boxing.
He said scratched cornea.
I'm just saying, man. Shit. You know, like what really went on in that world-class boxing gym, you know?
Wow, not this cornea, man. Oh no, I just believe he probably got touched because Scotty, one thing I kind of thought about too, like, you know, and this ain't even down talking Spence, but like you see Terrence Crawford getting in there, man, with the young, hungry guys, you know, just giving anybody work, fucking from Jared Hurd to Keyshawn, Shakur, you know, all these guys, sparring, everybody all around the world, shoes and all that. Brian Normans. Now, Earl, you don't hear about him sparring nobody. You don't hear about him working out, don't even work out outside his own gym.
No, yeah, they bring them into the asylum. Supposedly, they have sparring partners that they bring into the asylum, or they have in-house sparring partners like the infamous and legendary Marvelous Jarvis. You know, he's supposed to be the YouTube content creator who's a well-known legendary sparring partner over there, world-class boxing gym. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So I mean, that's what it is, man.
But I think that's because you fuck around, put him out there, and he out there sparring with the likes of everybody in the world, from hopping from Vegas gyms to New York gyms to Philly gyms, and you get some footage of his ass getting touched the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't gonna be good publicity.
Let me tell you something about this sparring shit. As far as getting information of somebody's getting touched the fuck up. Okay, the reason why that footage was leaked about Errol Spence, because for one, my understanding, GJ don't like the regular media that's in there, you know, that's on YouTube to be anywhere close. He's pretty much got himself, you know, confined like it's a freaking concentration camp or freaking penitentiary.
No outsiders and shit.
Yeah, no outsiders. So the people that they had up in there allegedly was IFL TV who leaked that footage. So you calling the neighbors out here, IFL, to go in there and watch the sparring. You don't even want to fuck with, for one, the black media, local black media in your hometown. I mean, you really don't even want to fuck with them. You want to make sure that you, I don't know, somehow, some way, you want to stay close to Mike Coppinger and all them cats. But the ones that's out here low crawling, you know, that really want to get in there, he don't trust them no more. So I've been in situations with Tank, you know, in some of these sparring sessions where they don't let you record nothing. Yeah, and then you go into sparring sessions like with Jahad Tucker and Brian Norman, who both of their fathers say they didn't give a fuck if it was recorded or not. You know what I'm saying? And these are individuals that you can put that footage out and people can make their own judgment
Yeah.
you know, on who they like the most.
Yeah. And you was at that sparring with Brian Norman and Tank. I remember you going live those couple days when that shit
Yeah,
was going down in the gyms and shit.
I was the only on YTC media there, dog.
Yeah, I remember you was the only one talking about it. I was in the chat. Yeah, yeah. Damn, you in there, you know, saying that. Cause what didn't Tank injure his hand or some shit? Or
Well, I
some
can I can I can tell you that they sparred off the clock 2 days, and
Mhm.
you know, in my opinion, Tank probably won't attest to it because that's just the way Tank is. Tank will not give nobody credit, dog. But it was a legendary sparring session. If it would have been recorded, that shit would have had millions upon millions of views
Yes.
because they went off the clock. They would imagine going off the clock and just banging it out, dog.
Man.
You know,
Real dog.
you have to understand that you're not waiting for the bell to ring, and you have two individuals in here going at it. And that, man, it was raw, man,
Mm-hmm.
and it could have been bad in there. It could have been a real bad situation because it was one way in, one way out. And I mean, it was a lot of cats up in there, dog. It was a lot of shit talking.
What would you rank that atmosphere as far as the gym atmosphere those couple days, them sparring matches?
If
As far as that you done been to.
if 10 was the most severe, it would be a 10, dog.
Mm.
Look. Let's say 30 cats was up in that small place, right? I used to go to that mark when I was a kid. First of all, look, let's say 30 dudes was up in there. I know probably 15 of them cats had weapons, include myself. 15 of them, half or over half had weapons. Period. And it was only one way out that bitch. And it was intense. And you know, it was shit talking, which I'm not going to disclose because I don't want people to think they're getting stunted on or nothing like that. But it was hot. Shit was going down inside the ring. It was a small ass ring too, dog. It was a small ring. Shout out to Coach Mustafa, man. It was at the Grindhouse. That's when Mustafa had a small ring and he was just really getting his, you know, the growth to his gym. Now he moved, he got a regulation gym, everything. It would have been different, but just it goes to show you how difficult that sparring was. They was in a small ass ring, man.
So Scotty, who do you think the top, you know, whoever you consider the top lightweights, 135? Would you say Tank get like the best work in sparring?
Well, when you talking about comparing Tank and Devin Haney, both of them have gotten
Devin, Lomachenko, shit, all of them.
Both of them have gotten work with some of the best names you can think about. Real talk. I'm gonna keep it honest. Devin's gotten work and Javante for a fact. For a fact. Both of those guys have gotten work. Now, when it comes to the 135-pound division, I don't think Lomachenko is one of the best 135 pounders just based off who he chose to fight in his career, being a two-time gold standard, and also how he came into the sport. He wasn't even confident. His team wasn't confident. So he wanted to get professional fights off record and then come in there and try to set a record. I don't consider him at this point with all that on his all the tread on his tires. I don't see him as one of the best in my opinion. I just don't.
Who do you consider the top three?
I have you said top three now.
Yeah,
I can give you my top three in no specific order.
Yeah,
But
no order.
It's gonna be Javante Davis, Devin Haney, and I cannot go with you said top three.
Yeah.
So the only other one I can go off of at 135 pounds might be
Real top heavy.
that's difficult because see my assessment of who I'm saying in the top, I'm not going off the ranking system. I'm just going off who I
ability.
believe they can fight in the top. You know what I'm saying? It may have to be Lomachenko, man. Put him in the top 3. You know what I'm saying? Because Ryan Garcia supposedly moved. Teofimo moved. I can't really take some of the dudes that's taking losses as of recent. You know what I'm saying? I can't put Richard Comey up there and all them guys. I can't put the Javier Fortuna.
William Zepeda, JoJo Diaz.
I can't really do that with JoJo Diaz. Even though I like JoJo, I just really can't do that with him. You know what I'm saying? He only has 2 losses, right? He lost to Tevin Farmer and Devin Haney, right?
Yep.
So, I don't know. Let me check, because when you're talking about,
He beat Tevin Farmer.
I thought he lost when he was at that weight at 130. I thought he lost.
He beat the shit out of Tevin Farmer. Remember, Tevin Farmer
No. I'll take that back, bro. You're right. He lost to Dan Gary Russell.
Right. Facts.
He lost to Gary Russell.
Facts. Yeah.
Good catch on that. You know what I'm saying?
35 is, I think they super top heavy. It's a huge drop off after those 3 names that you said. It's a huge drop off.
So I would look at it like, for Lomachenko, as far as who he's been in there with, right? He's been in there with Teofimo Lopez, even though he lost. But a lot of people go with the Isaac Cruzes and the Michelle Riveras.
Not even the Comey or the Nakatani or the Luke Campbell.
Nakatani's had 2 serious losses, bro. Like, Teofimo beat him after, he faced a little adversity, and then he turned back around and have a pretty decent win against what was the dude? Well, he come back and fight after taking that damage.
Yeah, and he beat dude up.
And he Lomachenko, stopped him. Lomachenko stopped Nakatani.
Yeah, he had that but he had that win after the TO loss. And then he ran into Lomachenko. Lomachenko beat the boy. That was crazy. And that's
Masayoshi Nakatani. I even got a picture with this guy. I did a live about him when he got arrested. But Nakatani, I think his name was Felix Verdejo. He had a win in between those losses with Teofimo Lopez. You know what I'm saying? So he lost to Teofimo Lopez. He was knocked down twice against Verdejo, and then he went in there with Vasil Lomachenko and got stopped. I think in the 9th or something like that. Nasty. So I'm looking at when it comes down to the rankings, for sure Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney top 2. Okay, but it gets a little shaky with that because people say Vasil Lomachenko because he was unified at the division previously. I get it. I totally understand it. He can come in as an easy 3, but then they're gonna start talking about Michelle Rivera. They're gonna start talking about Isaac Cruz because you went in there with Gervonta Davis and with the distance. They're gonna bring up the William Cepedas. They're gonna bring up Rolando Romero. I'm telling you, you got some casuals out there. They're gonna bring up Rolly, dog. They're gonna say, well, up until the 6th round, he was winning. I'm serious. That's what they're gonna do. But it gets real stiff. I mean, very light in the water, man. After that, like you do Gervonta and Devin, and then it comes down to just.
And then it's like, man, just give up the belts and go to a different weight division because it's gonna be hard for him to, especially the winner of that fight. Especially if like those guys that we named don't fight each other, like Michelle Rivera versus Rayo, or Ramiro versus Rayo, or shit like that. Like they got to mix it up to kind of solidify a position where you should be ranked. Them just going without fighting, especially like I like Michelle Rivera, but he ain't fought nobody in the top 15, and he ranked in the top 5. And
he ranked in the top 5, and there's a lot of hype behind him. They're trying to give him that hype just like they gave Xander Zayas when he was coming up in 47. But he got too big and he had to move up to 54. They got a lot of hype behind Rivera, man. They always want to tag him like he's the next Muhammad Ali and shit, you know?
He just looked like he got Muhammad Ali old barber and shit. So
Yeah. I mean, he actually looked like Ali from a glance, you know. You glance at that nigga, you know, he looked like Ali.
yeah, you
You
see
know?
certain he try to fight like him too a little bit.
Yeah. Esau Cruz got respect because going the distance with Tank and then turning around and destroying freaking Yuriorkis Gamboa so quickly. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So quickly.
Yes.
But I don't know, man. You know, it is what it is down there, man. You know, Devin Haney's tied up, of course. Javante is coming down here to the A. So, you know, that's the topic of the conversation. That people don't believe look, I'm gonna tell y'all, he's not coming down here fighting just anybody. He's not gonna do that. He's not gonna do that. I'm almost sure it may be Ryan Garcia. It may be Ryan Garcia. I told y'all how Ryan Garcia was switching over with the necklaces and trying to dress down and get with the culture and all this shit. It might be Ryan Garcia, man. He ain't coming down here fighting Juan Manuel Marquez in the A. That shit won't sell 20 tickets.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do something. But Tank and how, man, Leonard Ellerby, man, how they be moving them, shit, it's still like Ron Garcia possibly, I believe, yeah, he probably could be front runner, but PBC, they got options. They got, you know, what's his name, Hector Garcia, who just won that 130 title. You know, they fuck around, move Tank down. Shit, they could move him back up with the guy Pulo, the dude that just beat Akhmudov and shit in that close ass fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got a few type options when it comes to giving Tank a fight and it's still not being like hella frowned upon because you have a belt in there, you know. And then like Michelle Rivera, hell, I even said Abner Mares, depending on they put somebody in there against Tank and they drop out, boom, hey, Abner, you want to come in? Abner fighting tonight. He looked good, bring him in there. Him and Tank already was going to fight 2-3 years ago.
Abner fight who again? After that eye injury, you want him to go in there and get that left hand rolly work with his eye, man. The way it is, how fucked up it is. I don't know about that, bro.
Send him out on his own terms, man. Abner don't want to stay away from the game.
Sign his own death certificate to his career, dog.
Yeah, he don't want to stay away from the game, dog.
You know how long it took him to actually come back to the ring after that? I thought he has committed to being a commentator now. Yeah. His eye was fucked up.
4 years. We ain't seen him in 4 years out there since Leo Santa Cruz.
And look, I'm gonna put this out there, right? Because you know, people always talk about like and shout out, I gotta give a shout out to the people in the section. Sir Senior, salute to you, bro. Trick Nothi in the building. What's good? Mr. Pass on deck, 64. What's good? Pop a lot on deck. So check this out. And Tank will tell him. He know what it is. I'm on a flight, man. I'm leaving Vegas, and this is no cap at all, man. This is how I respect the game. It don't matter, you know, about these numbers on these channels, but Tank was sitting in economy, man. Tank was sitting in economy. I was in first class, and we had a delay in our flight. When Tank came through, he walked right past me. I said, "What's going on, Tank?" You know, he either remember seeing me or he didn't. It really doesn't matter. So he's sitting back there. So we found out we was gonna be delayed on the shit for like 2 hours. So I went back there and I said, "Hey, Tank," I said, "Man, I'm up here in first class, man. I'll take your seat if you want to go up there." See, I couldn't understand. He was a champion. He was due to face Abner Mares, bro. And those of you that's tuned in, you can fact check it if you want to. Call him up and ask him. He had on all black. Ask him, did I ask? I ain't trying to get no clout or nothing. You know, nothing. I've been on live and said this before. I offered the champ my seat because he was due to face Abner Mares, and I said, "Hey man, you can have my seat up there in first class if you want to, have some more leg room, relax or whatever. The flight wasn't that long to me, and he said no. So I called up this trainer, and I said, hold up for a second. I called up the trainer. I gave him the phone, and he talked to him, and he gave me back the phone. I said, it's up to you. You good? He said, no, I'm good. Because he had his hoodie on, listening to his music. So I went back up there, and the flight was like delayed, like 2 or 3 hours, man. And I offered the champ my seat. And he was scheduled to fight Abner Mares, man. And I was in first class, and I was up there. I felt, whatever reason he was back there in economy, I just felt, man, like I've been there, done that already with flights. Like I didn't get why he was back there. I didn't get it. It's just whatever's going on with him and Floyd, I don't know, but that man was in economy up against the window. So I was like, hey man, I'm offering my seat to you in first class if you want it, big dog. I know, look, I started saying champ. And look, it was 2 white people that were sitting next to him, right? They couldn't understand why I was calling him champ. They didn't know who he was. I said, champ, man, just go take the seat, man. You good, And he didn't do it. So it's all good, man. They can say what they want, but I respect it. I respect them as a fighter, man. And it wouldn't have made me no difference. I've been on flights before. This was a return flight, so I didn't care.
Yeah.
So it was all good.
If you can't respect Tank for nothing, you can respect Tank as a fighter for the simple fact, like how I always, like how I say, man, I see how people question how Tank moved, whatever, outside the ring and all this and that, or question his heart, any of that shit. They used to say like he ain't want to fight Lomachenko, he was scared of him and this and that, his self-confidence. But when Tank get in the ring, he know that's the only place where he all the way comfortable in. You could tell when he in the ring, that's where he's supposed to be. If he don't want to be anywhere in this world, like he's just super fluid when it comes to boxing. You can tell like that's just his life. That's what he here to do. And
I agree, man. Tank is that guy, man. Like I tell people all the time, God blessed him with a different type of package as a human being, and also for the sport that he's getting paid off of, that he chose to make a profession out of. God blessed him. God blessed him. A lot of people don't see it that way, him being short, but he blessed the man with the heart of a lion and motherfucking power. He has legitimate knockout power. So, they can say what they want. Now they can try to put Devin Haney and link him up and try to make this an all-out freaking defamation bash. Once again, 2 black fighters, the best in their division. And now, instead of finding a way to bring up both fighters, now we have media coming out and saying that Gervonta ducking Devin and all that. He ain't ducking nobody. He ain't ducking. Gervonta can box just like Devin can box. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? That's what it comes down to. I mean, Devin has obligations. He's contractually bonded the Cambosa. What do you want him to do? Gervonta has a fight in December. He's not fighting in October, taking a week off and getting back in there just to come down here and sell some tickets in Atlanta and say, okay, y'all didn't think I can do it? I'm going to come down here and fight Tank. No, it ain't happening, bro. Bill too smart for that shit. Devin's too smart for that. They're not going to do that shit. Trick said that was true class and courtesy by WCS. That is kind of bizarre that he was not in first class. What kind of promoter does he have? Hey man, that was several years ago. And like I said before, I was just, doing a good gesture to the champ, man. He was current champ at that time. He was a current champ, real talk. And I was just showing him love, man, and saying, hey, you want to go up there and sit down, you can. It's all good, man. I'll be all right, bro. But it's all good, man. And those of you that's close to the camp, that love talking about you close to the camp, it don't matter. You can go up there and ask him. It don't matter. I got 3 or 4 people that can vouch for me. It is all good. But with this fight right here, man, Ruiz and Ortiz, the prelims, I think, are already on, from my understanding. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is when it comes down to the information that's out there. It just gets it becomes like a ball of yarn. You know what I'm saying? Hearing this shit all the time, every time. I'm just hearing the same stuff all the time about Crawford. Just let it play out the way it's supposed to play out. Y'all can't come up with any more scenarios. You can't point the finger. You can't say so-and-so holding up the fight. You can't say any of that. Y'all are regurgitating the same information over and over again. You can't sit up here. Well, you can say, if you want to, it's your opinion on whether you think Spence will win the fight. All right, cool. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to vouch for your fighter. That's what you're supposed to do. But also, you should vouch for the YTC who let him down with those 12 days. The YTC who let him down in his career leading up to the Sean Porter fight, where you brag about his fight with Kell Brook, where you saw him out in public and he was inebriated. Why you didn't go up here and make a big deal out of that? But yet you're trying to find every little source about Terrence Bud Crawford holding up the fight. Just like Q said. Q said we was always on freaking Errol Spence's time when he was fucking up. You know what I'm saying? He was out there doing what he was doing, then have the fight of the year candidate possibly, and then go out there 12 days later and we on his time again and got to wait for him to heal. I'm not being insensitive. I'm just saying the way y'all go in on Bud Crawford, one thing y'all can't say that he's been in a situation due to his own negligence. He hasn't been in the same situation. He's taking his career as serious as it's supposed to be. That's why the legends are out here talking the way they talking, because they're looking at that 65% that I'm saying that he's doing outside the ring. He's maintaining, going to the gym, staying in shape, promotes the Liberty lifestyle. That's what he's doing. But all the dang Spencerholics, all y'all want to do is keep on whining about small shit to my sign the contract. No, tell your boy. Just tell him something good. Give him some advice. Because y'all wasn't there for him during the 12 days. None of y'all was there for him. But y'all continue to talk about the numbers and this, that, and the other, put out fake ass information, fake, false, fabricated, flagellous, false information. And I know y'all feeling some type of way because I don't have to live on this YouTube shit. I know y'all feeling some type of way. I'm just saying, where were y'all at? Y'all always want to ask for the numbers of Terrence Crawford. Y'all always want to ask for the numbers, bro. Like, damn. Like, y'all couldn't get together in a private chat and talk about support? When the man said he started boxing in 2015, you didn't see that was a problem? When Nate sat up there and first put the word out, when he was over there talking about that stuff and people was trying to call it fake news and come to find out he was telling the truth. So y'all can't sit up here and continue to say what Crawford isn't doing. You can't say up here and say Crawford want to fight an R&B singer, but he don't want to fight Spence. Bro, it's not that easy, man. Y'all making yourself look foolish out here. Y'all making yourself look foolish out here, bro. Y'all busy worried about what happened between him and Trey Songz, for real? That's how desperate y'all are, man, because the longer the fight is prolonged, the more that y'all have to say, damn, I like this lifeline. Whew. Spence get to keep his belts a little bit longer. God damn, I'm happy. That's what y'all saying under your breath, though. He get to keep those belts just a little bit longer. As much as the fight is prolonged, delayed, he get to keep those belts. Because time he lose those belts, those numbers are not going to be like you want them to be. He's not going to be attending in the AT&T Stadium. He's not. Jarvis said 4 months ago they both want the right amount of money for their families. I'm just happy. Be happy when they step their ass in the ring. That's all I care about. I mean, I think that's a lot of us, but in between time, we've been saying the same thing. We just can't wait for them to step in the ring, right? Okay, cool. But then, but what do we want though? As content creators, as media voices and segues, what do we really want if all the news out here is fabricated? You know what I'm saying? It's injected with false information. What do we want from our listeners? We want the views. I mean, what are we talking about? Why every time two black fighters come together, and I've already gave you the breakdown of the exterior positions that's already unified. I gave you the breakdown. The divisions of undisputed that doesn't consist of two black fighters in this era, how they've been able to make these fights happen. And you all are not talking bad about them like that. When Canelo was unifying, you didn't talk bad about him. Jermell Charlo, we had to wait, come back around. There was some back and forth about, you know, how close the fight was in the first one, this, that, and the other. But he came back around and fought Castaño. It wasn't two black fighters, though. Okay. Dropping down past 47 to 40. No one's really talking about Josh Taylor, but we tuned in to see him fight Jose Ramirez. Cool. 35, Teofimo Lopez fighting Vasyl Lomachenko. We seen it happen. We seen what it go down. Hey, it wasn't all this damn back and forth, even though y'all thought Lomachenko was going to watch Teo. Didn't happen. It didn't happen. And now we have all these other divisions potentially that may unify for undisputed, and we don't know what's going on at 47. You got 75 potentially. You got the heavyweight division potentially. We got bantamweight potentially. We got 122 potential, super bantamweight. We got 130 potentially. I mean, we have a lot of divisions that's close in the next year, potentially being undisputed, but yet we still waiting on one fight. And within that one fight, out of all the divisions I've named, it's really not two black fighters. It's really not two black fighters like we have Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. And with that said, I think it brings a bit more vigor to the conversation of black media picking sides. And they feel like, you know, Errol Spence is a more popular fighter, which I never quite understood what that's about anyway, because once again, Terrence Crawford is with some, I mean, come on, man. He's with some of the biggest names you can imagine. You got the legends up here picking him to beat Spence. What y'all mad at the legends, though? You know, why Spence is going to say F them all? Why? He shitted on y'all already, man. He said facts, bro. Spence stood up there and said facts to the guy who said y'all making name off Terrence Bud Crawford and Errol Spence's name. Putting out fake news. Errol Spence said facts. We all know who he was talking about. Errol Spence said facts, bro. He said facts. Bud fighting people that sings because he gets out of pocket, while EJ fighting YouTube video guys who whore for a profit, which is more abnormal. Hey man, look what they do in their off time. Hey, it either affects them in the right way or destroys them in the wrong way. You know, Bud can go out to a club in somebody else's backyard, and how you not connecting? You know what I'm saying? How are you not connecting? Just like Bernie said, you can't sell the fight. You can't connect. You can't link up and say, hey, I see you over here in Texas, this, that, and the other. No, none of that shit. And y'all keep on talking about Bud don't want to fight. The man is in Texas, bro. All y'all dudes that was up here tomorrow. Well, you know, when Bud come to Texas, he gonna have to stand on all that disrespect. It's Texas. I know Texas is big. I know Texas has some hardcore boxing fans over there, both black and Latino boxing fans, but like I tell y'all before, y'all should omit this from your freaking conversation or debate. Stop saying that Errol Spence was AT&T Stadium and all the numbers from his first pay-per-view coming off a fight. This is for you, Ron. Okay, this is for you, Ron. Those of you that know damn well that freaking Jerry Jones bought every seat in the house for his fight with Carlos Ocampo. So he goes in there and fight Mikey Garcia, and no one's gonna tell me that it wasn't it was less Mexican fans in that arena. You know what I'm saying? No, it was more Mexican fans in that arena than black boxing fans, period. It was more Latinos in that boxing arena at AT&T to support Mikey Garcia than it was fans there to support Errol Spence. That's truth, man. So when y'all sit up here and use this narrative and talk about Spence did this, what? Spence came close to even earning the championship in another division. Mikey Garcia is a 4-weight champion, ain't he? He opened the gates for Spence to compete against lightweights. A lightweight. And I'm hearing people, look, I hear y'all all the time on your live talking about how Spence break people and break their will. And he put out a text talking about, a tweet talking about, I like to see the will. I like to take the will out of these fighters. It does something. I like to see. Well, what about Mikey Garcia? You didn't take his will. You didn't take Danny Garcia's will. You didn't take Sean Porter's will. Okay. Errol Spence say it's been a long time since Man Down. He wasn't lying. So all of a sudden he come on here to the Adenis Ugas, and all of a sudden he's back on track. Oh, he crushes orbital bones, and you know what I'm saying? He takes fighters' will. Come on, bro. When he stepped up the competition, he didn't stop Mikey Garcia. He didn't stop Sean Porter. He knocked him down with a flush left hook and couldn't even drop him again and get the job done. Then he steps in there with Danny Garcia and he punished him. He damaged him, but he couldn't stop him. Why? Because Danny Garcia has never been stopped. If Danny Garcia would have fought Errol Spence like he did Jose Benavidez, it would have been a different fight. But he was there to move around with his good friend, take the punishment, give him a win under his belt for the check, and keep it moving. Yes, I said it. Danny Garcia wasn't there to try to beat Errol Spence like he fought Jose Benavidez. Y'all know that shit. Danny do have a good chin, man. Danny does have a good chin. I agree. Legends have been proven wrong in the past. They're not mind readers. They're just giving opinions. I never said the Legends was 100% correct. I never said that. But you can't sit up here and act like the ones who was competing and establish that label. They work hard for that title, Legend. You can't sit up here and say, well, they don't know what they're talking about. Oh, they got here in their head too long. So when do you give them their respect for choosing? You can't say it's all black fighters who saying this. That's not true. It's not all black legends that's saying this. It's not all black. You can't keep blaming Roy Jones for everything. You can't keep blaming Bernard Hopkins. You can't keep blaming James Toney. The black media always want to reach out to the black legends, but they don't want to say nothing to the other fighters that's out here making the same thing. Canelo. Y'all weren't jumping on Canelo's case, huh? Y'all just want to jump on the brothers. Roy, he's been a Spence hater. Oh, Roy been a Spence hater. What about B-Hop? B-Hop, man, and he don't know what he's talking about. These are guys who are established as legends in boxing, dog. And y'all acting like these men cannot sit up here and select a winner, predict a winner between Crawford Spence. It's hilarious, bro. Listen, I can go many ways with that. Whoever you are, 64. I don't have to admit anything. What do he break? Seriously, what does he break? You want to go back to when he fought for his first title, Kell Brook? Under what, 9 months? Coming off a loss? You want to put all that on Errol Spence like he got a healthy Kell Brook, right? But then y'all be the same people turning around and say, oh, well, it wasn't the right eye, it was the left eye. But still, y'all put the same stamp on it, though. The man was coming off a loss, and y'all big him up like he's good. Who do he break? If y'all gonna be in debate and say, oh man, shut up with that Carlos Ocampo shit, man, please. Jerry Jones purchased every seat in the arena, man. That shit wasn't even nothing. That was what was his? They say he was a mandatory. Where was he ranked at then? Before that fight, what was he ranked? Because I know for a fact Yardenas Ugas was in front of him. What was he ranked? So Carlos Ocampo goes out in one round. Kudos. So we have no numbers or anything for Spence on the pay-per-view. He goes up there to AT&T, fights a 4-way champion, Mikey Garcia. Garcia with the name. Garcia with the Garcia name. 4-weight champion, bro. And all these clowns do is sit up here and talk about, well, Spence, Spence did 350. What? It was more Latino fans in there than Spence fans, man. Check out the population in Texas. What they need to do is a consensus to find out per race of boxing fans is in Texas. Dog, that'll prove my point even more. Let's do a consensus on Black boxing fans and Latino boxing fans in Texas and see what we come back with. Come on, man. Let's see. Let's see what we come up with. He breaking, man. I can't deny he breaking shit, man. You're talking about a Kell Brook and a Yardenas Ugas. Danny Garcia looked like he didn't get shit broken. Spence fans are delusional. His cult following. I would say it's in a good way. It's good to have some type of following. It's good. It's good to have some type of following. But for me, I would rather have individuals that think for themselves. And because the individuals that think for themselves, they're not repeating everything I'm telling them. You know what I'm saying? They're coming up with their own thoughts. They're coming up with their own information. Hearing a collective view from multiple fight fans, that's how you build content. That's how you build education when it comes, because everybody's thought process shouldn't be the same. It should be quite different. Canelo said Bud over EJ. They was like, shit, don't say nothing. Shh, shh, no say. Cállate la boca. Cállate. Cállate, amigo. Cállate. Shh, 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 shh. Saul Canelo Alvarez said Crawford over Spence. Shh, cállate. Cállate. They was like, don't say a word. Period. Canelo said the same thing B-Hop Roy and freaking James Toney said, and many others said, and they just want to pinpoint on the black fighters. Like they don't have a voice. Like they didn't go in there and represent during their heyday when they was in their prime, so to speak. You like they didn't represent and earn that title. They did. Come on, man. If James Toney was in this era, man, come on. Roy Jones, stop it, bro. B-Hop, stop, man. Come on, man. Y'all look at these dudes like at the age they are now, and you don't want to give them credit for what they was able to do when they was actually young like us and competing. It's more Latino fans in boxing in Texas. I know it is, man. I know it is. Period. But hey, we're gonna have to continue to, for those of you that's out there, there's a surprise might happen sooner or later, man. Tonight. In the next several hours, a surprise might happen. They may announce the fight, man. It may be. It was all a dream. You know what I'm saying? It was all a dream. Maybe the shit's gonna be announced in the next couple of hours, man. Not gonna lie, OG. I got the screenshot of what Errol did to Danny left eye, and he closed that motherfucker too. It's a difference between styles, right? Big blunts and boxing. Salute to you. Styles and fights. People act like, they can't look at another fight, right? So let's do some comparison. Blunts and boxing, right? Let's use comparison of when he fought Sean Porter. Danny Garcia's eye didn't look like that with Sean Porter. And Danny Garcia pretty much had the same stagnant fighting style. You take Sean Porter and put him there with Errol Spence after winning the title for the vacant WBC title. You put him in there with Errol Spence, and Sean Porter's eye did not look like Danny Garcia. It didn't look like Danny Garcia's when he fought Danny Garcia, and it didn't look like Danny Garcia's eye when he fought Errol Spence. I'm talking about Sean Porter's. So therefore, he wins the title. Now it comes around for Errol Spence to fight Danny Garcia, a fighter who has a really big name. His eye didn't look like that against Keith Thurman. His eye didn't look like that against Robert Guerrero. It definitely didn't look like that against what's his name? Brandon Rios. It didn't look like that. It didn't look like that against Adrian Granados. Like I said before, he support Errol because Errol is originally from Long Island. He support Errol because you've seen them sitting together when the goofball Ryan Garcia pulled up and wanted to bet 20,000. So what I'm telling you is he went in there to be the opposition. He didn't care about taking another loss because he's still going to get paid regardless. So he went in there and he got beat the fuck up by Spence. We done seen Danny Garcia fight way better than that. We just seen it with Jose Benavidez. So that's where I base my argument off of. That's where I base my argument off of. When he fought Keith Thurman, did he look like that? When he fought Keith Thurman, did he look like he did when he came out to fight with Errol Spence? It's a lot of shit that Danny Garcia wasn't doing in that fight with Errol Spence. Didn't Mikey Garcia, didn't he stand right in front of there and box? He didn't look like Danny Garcia. And Danny Garcia been boxing just as long to know how to use his defense. He don't get fucked up like that. It looked good. It looked good to the eye test. But did it stop him? Did he have a long-term injury? He went right back in there and fought Jose Ramirez after a while. Man, come on, bro. Man, I'm like, man, he didn't even try in that fight, really. He didn't even try, man. This is coming off a Brian Custer admission that he haven't been man down in a while. That's an admission from Errol Spence that he hasn't been man down in a while, bro. I get where you're coming from, but I'm just telling you, styles make fights, man. The reason the fight ain't happened yet is Spence and all them on the other side ain't confident in EJ beating Bud. Me and a lot of other people that feels like you do, they're unwilling to accept that reality because it is opinionated. It's an opinion. And we can look at it like, yeah, he lose those belts. It really takes away the momentum that they have in those two divisions. They have momentum in the 154-pound division. They have momentum in the 147-pound division to a point. They would definitely like for Bud Crawford to move up and vacate that WBO belt because they're going to do the same. They're going to fight for the vacant WBO title, and Errol Spence is going to stay at 47 for at least 2 to 3 fights. Guaranteed. If Bud vacates the WBO title, Errol Spence immediately is going to get the title shot. And it's not going to be anybody important either. He's going to scoop up the WBO, say he's undisputed, and then they're going to put him in there with another retread name. Now this can happen, though. You know, you have Ortiz and you have freaking Jaron Ennis in the shoot. He can fragment the titles. He can come off the IBF because he feel like Jaron Ennis is that dude and he don't want to, or he can fight him. Or he can fight Jaron Ennis. There'll be a good fight at AT&T Stadium. But once again, I don't think they'll put him in there with Jaron Ennis for all the titles, all the marbles. I don't think they'll go off and perform those duties like Devin Haney and George Kambosos. I don't think they'll do it. I think he'll vacate that IBF title and then he'll fight somebody else, just like Josh Taylor's doing. He'll fight somebody else, pick up some paychecks, and then he'll move up to 154. Blunson Boxing say the white boy Van Heerden that Spence fought took a beating to his eye too. I just don't think Spence is going to have that success against Bud. Bud too smart to let that shit happen. It's not like Bud haven't been in some fights where his eye has been touched up. It's boxing at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? It's boxing at the end of the day. It's a high possibility that, you know, eyes can swell up. It is boxing. Real talk. It is boxing. We have to never forget that it is boxing. These fighters can get touched up and their eyes can swell. Look, if they swim and then get wet and don't get wet, then there'll be complaints that they don't take risks, right? Oh, they don't take no risk, man. They don't take no risk. You know what I'm saying? That'll be the conversation. If a boxer, let's just say a boxer is scheduled for 10 rounds or even 8, and they're pretty good competitively wise on paper, depending on the styles of fights, fighters may get swollen eyes and everything. Look at Jojo Diaz when he fought Tevin Farmer. Tevin Farmer is not considered a power puncher like that. So, however, Jojo Diaz eye got the way it did. It was a championship fight. They didn't stop it, and his left eye was hanging the fuck down. It was a real bad eye injury. You know, look at Timothy Bradley and Provodnikov. Look at the way his eye was. That shit was crazy. That shit was crazy, man. You know, so fighters are gonna get swollen eyes and everything, but let's not make no mistake about it, y'all. You know, they always bring up Bud Crawford getting hurt by Yorkis Gamboa, Bud getting hurt by Igis Kavalaskis and all that. But they never bring up who Errol Spence was hurt by. It seemed like all of a sudden they have an acute syndrome of selective amnesia. Like all of a sudden the cataracts, they start to multiply expeditiously and they can't see anything. What? Huh? Spence, he ain't never been hurt, man. He ain't never been hurt. He ain't never been hurt. I don't know what you talk about, man. Man, stop that, man. As long as I've been watching Spence, he ain't never been hurt. His people never talk about when Spence get hurt. It's almost like he's went through these fights and all they talk about is eyes swelling up. He's up there swelling up eyes. Cool. With that level of opposition, you was able to do that. But you know, just like people say, this would be a tough fight for both parties, Crawford and Spence, if it happened. And nobody's on Errol Spence's resume is Bud Crawford, and no one's on Bud Crawford resume is Errol Spence. So it should make for a very entertaining championship showcase, period. Dennis said after the Spence fight, he felt like retiring. See, you have to look at it too, that Danny Garcia and his training and all that shit, that's not his first loss, man. Danny Garcia hasn't did anything special at welterweight. He fought for a vacant title to get into the division. Let's not act like Danny Garcia outside of his name and his stock value as a fighter. He's a prize fighter, cool. But he lost against Keith Thurman too. He lost against Sean Porter. He lost against Errol Spence, 3 of the top names at welterweight. Let's not get it twisted. He lost the one time, he lost the Showtime, and he lost the little minnow. He lost to the 3 top names in the welterweight division, but yet we're comparing his eyes swelling up. Dude. At 64, Spence got real consistency when it comes to destroying faces. But Bud got real consistency, knocking MFs out and not talking crazy damage, not taking crazy damage in the process. I agree with that. Like the fighters that he get recognition off of Blunts and Boxing is absolutely what you're talking about, and others. He's been able to touch up freaking Kell Brook. He did. I'm pretty sure they had plenty of film to watch with Gennady Golovkin. He touched up, okay? And I even go farther back, Lamont Peterson. Did he straddle Lamont Peterson out over the canvas? But Lamont Peterson eyes were swelled up, right? Because he chose to use high guard and stand flat-footed and take them punches. The fight was stopped. Okay, we get it. We get it, bro. Prove to the world that you can do it to Terrence Crawford. That's all I'm saying. Prove to the world that you can do it to Terrence Crawford. Because no way, no how somebody's going to compare Crawford to Ugas. It's no way. There's no way that they're going to compare fighting styles. They're going to compare legacies. Come on, man. It's not going to happen. I hope this fight happens. It's going to be great for boxing. It is, man. But, you know, it can't be great for boxing when all these lies are being placed in the register and shit on the YTC register. You know what I'm saying? We can't keep on putting false ass information out here. It's never enough for these boxing fans. It's never going to be that way. Ugas stood there. Ugas still stand there. Stop fighting. Everything, man. Your Bud ain't gonna just stand there. He's not, man. I expect Bud to bring his best, you know, like he always do. He has 6 straight stoppages. I expect nothing less from him. Let's just, for the Spencerholics' sake, that they build up more confidence than I feel that they have right now in him stepping in the ring with Crawford, and stop finger pointing, because you need to worry about him being healthy enough to go a full 12 rounds. And you better hope he doesn't get stopped before 10, because you don't want that to happen. You don't want him to get stopped, first of all, and you don't want the stoppage before the 10th round. I'm just telling you, it's just going to be too easy to come back on here. And those of you that's sitting up here, I'm gonna tell you another consistency with the Spence fans, right? When this is what they'll say to get out of it, right? Believe me when I tell you this. This is what their common language has gotten to, right? They'll say, if Terrence Crawford beat Errol Spence, I'm gonna be like, you know, congratulations. You know, he beat him. You know, I mean, I'm not gonna feel no type of way about it. You know, I mean, he beat him. If he win, he win. See, not with me. Not with me. I'm all aboard with the way Letitia Crawford put it out there, right? Letitia said, pick a side. It's no fence straddling. You pick a side. My mentality is, it's nothing I'm gonna say is, well, I'm not gonna feel no sort of way if Terrence Crawford, I don't never put him in a losing situation. I don't never verbalize that to say, well, if Terrence Crawford, no, I don't. That's the difference. See, you'll hear the Spencerholics sit up here and they'll say some shit like, well, if Crawford beats Spence, then I'm like, okay, he fought a good fight. That's what it was. I'm not going to feel, I'm not going to feel no type of way. You should. You should feel some type of way. Because then you have to look at all the lies and the rhetoric that was spewed on here in the YTC. And for Spence to come up short after all the shit you was talking about, the volume of punches that he was going to be putting out and how he was just going to run through Crawford and he was going to take his eyes and all this other shit. You trying to tell me now all of a sudden with all the whining and crying y'all been doing on YTC, you're not going to feel no type of way if he loses to Crawford? That's what you telling me? That shit ain't true. You know damn well it ain't true. Man, y'all gonna be in a goddamn fetal position in the backyard. You're gonna dig yourself a hole and get in the fetal position in the backyard in the rain and be crying in muddy water. You know damn well. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Yeah, you know you are. You're going to dig yourself a hole, be out there. It's going to be raining that day too. You're going to be goddamn blowing snot bubbles in muddy water and shit. You're going to be out there coughing and shit. Oh, God, the worst. Oh, my God, the worst day of my life. What am I going to do? I'm not fucking with boxing no more. That's it. I'm not fucking with boxing. Goddamn Crawford! Crawford! I'm telling you, dog. Crawford, how dare you? It's just like that guy on 300. Leonidas, you're wrong. Leonidas, you'll pay for this, Leonidas. Oh my God, dog. Spence definitely got pawed up. I got the link. Hey, man, they think I just, I'm hating on Spence. I'm not, man. Spence has done well, but let's not start comparing him to fighters who just been in the middleweight division. Like they're trying to compare him to freaking B-Hop and Gennady. Well, he's not doing anything than they did. They chose to fight him. I'm like, what the fuck? Well, B-Hop did this at this point in time. I was like, wow. Did he fight one division or two divisions? What did he do? Please help me out. Y'all want to compare him to the legends, but you don't want to hear what the legends got to say. Is that it? You want to compare him to the legends, but you don't want to hear what the legends got to say, bro. Just because he had one division and he can be 32 years old all he want. That accident fucked him up. Period. It fucked him up. Like I say, I'm glad he's able to be with his family. Why not? You're talking to a person who lost a kid. When I was down to Atlanta, my son was getting CPR on the table where I grew up. He was already deceased while I was en route. You know what I'm saying? I've lost a son, so this shit don't run deep in nobody's household. I'm just talking on the surface of his boxing shit. Don't get mad at me of talking about something that he did that was destructive. He did that, not me. Let me see, can I even get this? Hey, put the link. Let me see. Put it by itself, man, in the comments. Put it by itself in the comments, man. Or, you can put it in the link in the comments, or you can come in, you can click the link and put it in the private chat. I believe this fight happening. That link I just posted shows Spence getting fired, owned by Southpaw, and not answering back. Oh, it's definitely out there. Put it in the link by itself. All his fights at welterweight, he's lost. All his big fights in welterweight, he's lost. Absolutely. But they trying to big him up because Spence made his eye look different. He lost to Keith Thurman. Man, come on, man. Like I said, he lost the one time, Showtime, and Big Minnow. That's it. Come on, man. I agree. This fight will show who's who. I agree, but you know what I'm saying? I don't sit up here and say, well, if Crawford this. No. I say Crawford gonna beat Spence ass, man. He gonna stop him. He better hope he don't get stopped before 10. You better hope he doesn't get stopped before Sean Porter. Because now you can't say Errol Spence was washed up. You can't say it. I don't want to hear shit. You can't say Errol Spence was washed up. You want to say Sean Porter was washed up. Kell Brook was washed up. He ain't fought nobody. We can't say nothing about Errol Spence except he went in there and got dealt with. He said, I'm 58 and like both fighters, but I got Spence. If he loses, he loses. Boxing continues. See, I just don't have that mentality, man. That's just not the way I compete. I just don't have that. If he lose, he lose. Like I never win into something saying if I lose, I lose. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not gonna speak that way about Crawford. If he loses, boxing continues. I'm not telling you how to speak, obviously. You know what I'm saying? I'm just making mention that, hey, I don't visualize Crawford losing to Spence. I don't visualize it at all. Crawford is a much better fighter. And Spence is not this world beater where he's coming in there with Gervonta Davis power. He may break down certain opponents over a period of time, but none of those opponents have been the likes of a Terrence Bud Crawford. Okay, let's see what this is about. Let me see. Hold on for a second. Oh, this Boxing Gems. Shout out to Boxing Gems. They be putting out some good shit. I try not to but since I'm not worried about, the YouTube funding program, I'm good with putting this up there. Appreciate the link. Let me share this right quick. And see Bunsen Boxing, see you about to start up that damn furnace again, man. That shit was just cooling off from the videos you made. Now it about to get jumped back up, man. You know what I'm saying? Who is this guy? Let me see. That's Van Heerden, the one who he stopped in like what? The ninth round or something like that, 8th round. See Terrence Crawford up there at the top, right? And this fight happened some time ago. He blocked that left hand. Errol Spence has always played second fiddle to Terrence Crawford on the pound for pound. Look at that right hook Van Heerden just landed. 1-2 by Spence. Van Heerden comes back with the 1-2, hit him again, pushes him in the corner. Hey, Blunts and Boxing, they ain't talking about that though. And once again, shout out to Sight and Boxing Gems video. Man, y'all be sure to follow him, man. Put out some damn good fight breakdowns. Shit, that motherfucker. Man, that shit be on point too. Real talk. His fighters breakdowns, that shit does be gems. Hey, appreciate that link, man. He said, "No, Jim's cool as hell. He appreciate the shout out. Tim Bradley shouted him out on Top Rank all the time. Yeah, Jim's, man. I'm telling you, his shit is Jim, man. When it comes to boxing, when it comes to these fight breakdowns, man, his shit is on point, bro. Jim is family. Put the sound on LG. Oh, I didn't know, man. I don't know him like that. I ain't want him to flag my shit, dog. You know what I'm saying? Let me go back right quick, bro. Let me go back. Let me go back. Let me go back.
Hey, well, why is it only the other guy got sound effects, man? Spencer be landing too, man. Well, come on, man. Come on, man. Hey, well, why is it only the other guy got sound effects, man? Spencer be landing too, man. Well, come on, man. Come on, man.
On the video, young African.
Oh, man.
Pull his gloves, man. Young African.
Hey, is that an example of Spence being hurt, though? That he wasn't hurt, man. Come on.
Why did he back out the position?
Oh, hey, it landed, no doubt, but it wasn't hurt, though. You know, they're different.
Why did he back out the position?
Hey man, you making
Oh, because it landed. It was a solid shot. It was a solid shot, no doubt. Solid shot.
Oh, Jim, you pissing people off right now. I'm sorry.
I
seen it. It was the first day.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Hey, why is it only the other guy got sound effects, man?
That was hilarious, Blessed Boxer. Shout out to Blessed Boxer. No, a big shout out to Boxing Gyms, man. He be doing his damn thing over there, man. That shit was hilarious, dog. And then also, you can pretty much pick up some boxing terminology from the brother. You know what I'm saying? Give the brother credit for being able to basically be descriptive. You know, because with MMA, I'm a bit more descriptive with MMA because it's a much more technical all-around sport than I am with boxing. Some people can start to blend in and sound the same in boxing. You know, that 1-2, a hook, uppercut, and all that. You know, he's levels above that. Boxing Gyms, he can give you that verbal breakdown of some terms that you can start using. I'm telling you, shit is very educational, man. That shit was funny as hell, man. Yeah, man. Appreciate that Blunts of Boxing. That shit was hilarious. Pop, 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 pop. Goddamn, that popcorn was there. Aerosexual was trying to claim how great Spence was, and James had to hit him with the film. Oh man. He said, why did he back out the position, y'all? Then he back out the position and into the corner. People always, I'm telling you, Aero Spence aholics, man. They are like, this guy don't get hurt. We just see him hurting your Dennis Ugas fight, and all they talk about is how his eye look. For sure, watch that by yourself when you get some time. Yeah, I'm gonna watch that shit, man. That's hilarious, man. That's hilarious, man. I ain't gonna lie. That shit picked up my evening a little bit. Laughed my ass off, bro. That shit was funny as hell. Now tell me Crawford ain't gonna be in there slapping Spence up. You can't. Hello, it'd be a long night. I'm serious, man. And also we have to look at how black media used to speak about black boxers, on how black boxers finesse the fighting style, how they go in there and box and hit and not get hit. But with Spence, he really doesn't fit that nomenclature of, you know, finessing the technique and going in there and hit and not get hit. No, he takes punishment, man. He takes punishment. And people want to downplay Jeff Horn, the bigger fighter, the bigger Aussie. But look how Terrence handled that shit though. His foot movement and everything. Look how he handled that shit with Jose Benavidez. Jose Benavidez was trying to walk down Crawford just like he was trying to with Danny Garcia. Real talk. Real talk. But let's not forget it, because they always talk about, this, that, and the other. They'll say Danny Garcia, oh, he was A1 when he stepped in there with Spence, right? Well, guess what? He went the distance with Jose Benavidez. Terrence Crawford didn't. Terrence Crawford didn't go the distance. Terrence Crawford stopped him. He stopped him. I would like to see Crawford fight Garcia. Boot camp, what's good? He said for the Spence babies, best believe not going 12 either way. Bud going for the kill, been waiting. Yes, sir, man. Pick a side. For real. Pick a side. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not impossible. Like, people always bring up, like, Bud came down here and the word got out that he had been hurt in sparring and all that. Man, that was before he went in there and fought Sean Porter and stopped him. So you really want me to talk about sparring like that as if Bud isn't that guy? So you want me to sit up here and talk shit about what I seen, and it wasn't to the extreme on what they were saying. People up here lying, talking about he was knocked down and all. He wasn't. He wasn't. It was just sparring session. He's coming off Richards and Hitchens, who's a light, playful sparring session, and he was having fun talking to his coach, to then Brian Norman Jr., who doesn't play. Brian Norman don't play when it comes to sparring. Bud was in a lightful mood that day. And Brian came out like you was the one that broke into his house and tried to steal his last dollar. He came out like it was fight night on Showtime, goddammit. And that ain't the first time he did that shit. I mean, that's just how he is. He did the same shit with Tank. He don't fucking play around when it comes to sparring. He don't say shit to nobody. He ain't saying nothing. He's just waiting to get it in. You know what I'm saying? You see that with him and Porter. Spence took punishment. But once again, YT, the Spencerholics are gonna say what? Well, he was just trying to prove to the people that he can beat Porter his own style. That's all it was. He really didn't take any punishment. It's because he made the decision to beat Porter at his own style. That's all. We need to commend him for that effort. We need to commend. That's what we need to do. Instead of criticizing Spence, we should commend him for combating Sean Porter and defeating him in his own style. Oh, let's clap it up. Let's clap that up for real. I heard Garcia turn down that fight. Garcia know what it is, man, with Bud. Danny know what it is, man. Listen, look, I've never been on record saying that Errol Spence stopped Danny Garcia. But when it comes down to him not being stopped, doesn't mean that a TKO cannot happen. People get wrapped up in KOs and they forgot it's different types of stoppages. You know how there's different types of stoppages? Because whenever it comes to Errol Spence, they believe that he gets knockouts. You know what I'm saying? But yet when it comes to Terrence Crawford, they be like, the man got 6 TKOs, man. That ain't shit, man. That ain't shit, man. He ain't got power like that, man. He just got TKO victory, man. He ain't knocking people clean out. And I'm telling myself, I'm saying to myself, like, TKO stoppage is a TKO stoppage. That means someone was there to save his life. Whether it was the corner or the referee. A TKO is a TKO. It goes right beneath the win column as a knockout. You understand that. I understand that. So stop playing like you naive. You know where it goes at, right there to the left-hand side beneath the wins. No doubt, sir, senior, no doubt. We know it to be true. We know it. Bro, imagine doing all that work for years to get them belts, and then you get to the last one and you lose. Then he takes all the belts. I probably cry. Damn. That is just such torture. That is such torture. Nobody knows how I feel. Nobody knows how I feel. Nobody. He gonna be saying nobody knows how I feel. He gonna be up there in the rain crying. I earned and did all the heavy lifting, as the Spencerholic said, all the heavy lifting just to get all them titles taken away all in one swoop. Oh, that's torture. God damn, that's some punishment. That's a bad result right there. I'm saying that's not a happy ending. Seriously, for those of you that live at massage parlors, that's not a happy ending that he's looking for. You know what I'm saying? For real. Nah, he was fighting Porter's fight and being out coached too. No doubt, man. And here goes another thing. You know, I heard this individual talking about, man, Spence gonna be ready for the fight, man. Not only that, his coach getting ready too. Don't nobody give a fuck about what DJ is doing. If he's getting in shape, kudos to him, man. He's getting older. He's staying in shape. Hey, I commend, man. I ain't got shit to say. Like, he want to get in shape. Cool. Health is good. But then you turn around and you want to act like just because he's getting in shape, he's going to be there in the ring. Let's get one thing cleared. Some of these fighters don't listen to their coach. And Errol Spence has been on record as being one of them. Jermell Charlo has been on record as being one of them too. Let's be absolutely clear on that. Let's be crystal clear. At the end of the fight, he's telling a fighter, we gotta stay focused. We gotta work on being focused. Why are you telling a fighter that's on the pound for pound list that all the Spencerholics is ranting and raving about? Why is his coach at this point in his career telling him, we gotta work on being focused? Gotta stay focused. That's what I'm telling you, stay focused. Gotta stay focused. Why aren't you focused, bro? Why would you go look for your mouthpiece? Was it attached to some dental floss because it wasn't fully freaking molded to your teeth? So they tied down some dental floss in that bitch. They needle thread some damn dental floss, and on its way out, it kind of, you felt it tug on one of your teeth, and you say, "Oh shit, my mouthpiece gone. Let me go looking for it." No, man, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to wait. And then the fact that you wasn't given a knockdown, that should have been called a knockdown, bro. That should have been called a knockdown, man. Real talk. Just like Castaño did you in the amateurs, it should have been a knockdown, bro. I respect both champions, though. It'll be a great night in black boxing history. It has, look, if everybody had your mentality, Bunsen boxing, it'll be great. If they respected both fighters, cool. But it's not that way. It's just not that way. I'll say what I say, but it's not to the point where I feel that it's demeaning to get all deep down and with resentment and act like I'm losing sleep over it. That's not it. I just feel like the better boxer is who I say, based off what his accomplishments have been, how he carries himself, how serious he takes the sport. And then I look on the latter side, and I just see a person who's gaffing off the sport, taking it for granted, living the nightlife, chilling, knowing damn well you competing in the boxing ring and your competition is going to step up sooner or later. And when that started to happen, you up here telling people in public that you made it harder on yourself. And we come to find out, we know why you made it harder on yourself. 12 days later, we see it on the news why you made it harder on yourself. So nobody should be to blame. It's just the Spencerholics, they sit up here and act like they don't have any other criteria. Well, if you stop ignoring the fact that you know who the fighters have been taking the sport serious, and you're not totally sure that Spence is going to go in there and win based off his history. That's all you have to say. I respect that more than all the fabricated storylines like this is Stephen King novel. You know what I'm saying? This is not Nickelodeon, y'all. Y'all need to stop creating storylines that's funny as fuck. Absolutely torturous. Word it was a knockdown. You know what I'm saying? It was, man. He should have got presented with a count. But Lawrence Cole, man, you know how he is, man. Lawrence Cole is in the system. Man, come on, bro. We already know what it is with Lawrence Cole. Hold on for a second. It's bad. I'm waiting for Ruiz fight to be over so I can see the reaction to no announcement of Bud and Spence. Well, certain individuals try to cover their ass because they knew the shit wasn't going to be out, and they just damn sucked out more revenue from their listeners, which if they choose to continue to do that, whoever they may be, then shame on them. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying no one believed that shit. No one believed it at all. No one believed it was going to be an announcement. But like I said, it's 8. Hey, don't they have a halftime? For those of you still here, don't they have a halftime in between fights where they make big announcements? Or they're going to announce this shit from the commentary booth? Hey, by the way, we just want to drop some information. Crawford-Spence is official. The fight will be in November. I just thought I'll let y'all know that. Back to the fight, Al. Is that the way it's going to play out? Because I don't remember the fight having a halftime or whatever. And I don't think it's very classy to announce that shit from the commentator's booth. Just let the fans know. Hey, we just want to be the first to let the audience know and the thousands watching that Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence is now official, and this is the fight date. You know? But man, I'm about to bounce, man. I'm about to go look at these fights right quick. And I'll probably be back on. I might be back on a little bit later. I'm just going to look at this fight and check some stuff out. Appreciate y'all pulling up as always, man. Y'all hold it down. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports. And appreciate the link there, Big Blunts and Boxing, man. Y'all hold it down. I'm out.